Lucy, when we talk about data governance, data management, which is your core expertise at Data Cash Solutions,
Yes.
um, we know that it's meant for reducing the risk of non-compliance. It's meant to reduce the risks for the organization. It's also helpful to reduce the cost of the company because if you
Mm.
better handle, manage your data, you will have less duplicates, and less duplicates means less exposure to risk, but also less storage, and less
Mm.
storage means less cost, right? But is there anything else that this good data governance is providing to organizations who are trying to scale and grow their, I would say, business? What else do you see in this management?
But definitely, it brings something else. And you speak about founders and startups.
Hmm.
And so, in this case, if you are in the shoes of the startupper, the founders, what is the main issues that they have is two main issue, I think: money
At
and
least.
yes, of course, and and also to be known and to have the first adopters. So this is the main thing. And to do that, and as we don't have money, it's complicated to move forward, to have the full setup adapted to the competing with the big potentially competitors. So what is
Yes.
important is to build trust and ethic at the beginning, even more when you speak about data and artificial intelligence, because now when we speak about innovation, of course the
Mhm.
fuel is data, and we speak about systems using potentially very powerful technology like AI, quantum, high performance computing, for example. But as said Spider-Man, with more power, you have more responsibility, of course. So for that, you have to build at the beginning the right foundation. And
Mm.
if you have, and I saw a lot of founders that they have the right, um, habit, trying to make their best, to be sure that they comply or they minimize the risk as much as possible.
Mhm.
And so that's great. So we work all together, limiting the data, not implementing the full compliance because it doesn't make sense. The level of risk is different. So we work on the minimizing the data, on choosing carefully the vendors, the providers, adapted to the purpose, to the activity, to the business, and also to the customers' request expectation. So as I said also previously, it's possible that we target government and health sectors, that it will be different than to target I know, industry, for example, where the level of risk, if we speak about individual data protection, is minimized. So
Mhm.
it will be different. So you have to build following what you need to cover to make sure that you have the right level of ethic and trust for your business partners and for your customers. So you have to protect you as well, the
Mhm.
intellectual property. And often the thing that the founders forget is to communicate around these great practices that they have. And that's just a
Wow.
pity because now it started to be a competitive advantage. So remember at a moment when Apple speak about, said always speaking about privacy in all the advertising. So it's really interesting and it's really valuable, of course, when it's true. And it was true. I worked also in Apple. And so in their department, everybody knows about privacy. Everybody is aware. They minimize data everywhere. So it's true what they said. And when you do that, you pay attention, you ask you the right question. So just say it, just in the term and condition, the term of use, just say that you minimize the data, that you select carefully your providers. So it will bring trust for the investors, for the business partners, and to scale and to develop your company. So this is really key: communicate. And when we are young, also sometimes, because I also provide lectures to the students, we forget also, we think that only work correctly is enough. No, we have to communicate on our work. And this is exactly the same. When we do well, we have to say and explain, because sometimes the people, they don't know, and so we have just to explain and to communicate around that.
That's very strong point. So reputation, it's what
Mm,
good data governance is providing.
mm,
And And I'm quite confident this may be a strong advantage for a startup
Yeah.
developing the right habits, the right, I would say, methodology and approach with data early stage.
Mm.
And do you think it can help the company to in this process to raise money, to raise funds? Do you think
Yes.
it's also helpful for that?
Yes, definitely, because the investor, they by following the sector, the activities that you have, they
Hmm.
expect that as well. They expect that, and also because they are used to, work with the different companies, founders, startups, and so they know if you target this sector that you need to have at least a strong foundation, or to communicate, or to minimize the data, or some some sectors, the customers, they will expect something. So if you show that you are listening, your potential adopter, so it
Hmm.
will be good for the investor as well. And reputation is important in the adoption as well.
That's very clear. Thank you so much, Lucy.
Thank you, Thomas.